video. We continue talking about traveling. First, think about this. When was the last time you traveled? Where did you go? What did you do? Please think about this so we can share in class. Okay, let's continue. What do you think about visiting Bolivia? Do you like the idea? Where would you like to go? And why? If not, what place would you like to visit? Think about this so we can share. Now, let's go to page 107, exercise 3A. We're going to listen to Natalie talking about some things you can do in Bolivia and some places you can visit. Please number the pictures 1 through 5.
Page 107. 3. Listening and speaking. More adventures in Bolivia. A. Listen. Natalie talks about things you can do in Bolivia. Number the photos 1 through 5.
So yeah, I'm thinking about going to Bolivia next year. I've heard so many amazing things about the place, and I've always wanted to go. Ava said she wanted to come with me. She's been before, but she said she'd like to go again.
I didn't know Ava had been there before. I know she said she'd been to South America. She's always been fascinated by the place. So, Bolivia, huh?
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much to do. Ava said we should fly into La Paz first. She said it was an interesting city. She said it was fun just to walk around the markets. She spent a couple of days just looking at stuff. She said the local crafts were really impressive, like the hand-woven fabrics and everything.
And I've heard it's a beautiful country. You know, like outside of the city, I mean.
Yeah. Ava told me one of her favorite places was Lake Titicaca. She said we could take a boat ride on the lake. That sounded so relaxing.
Yeah.
And you can go to Eduardo Avaroa National Park and see all the volcanoes. Apparently, the views there are just stunning.
And there must be lots of great places to hike and everything too, right?
To be honest, I'm not big on hiking, though Ava said she'd been hiking in the mountains. Apparently, she went to Huayna Potosi. She said you can go hiking there. I think you have to be a pretty experienced hiker, though. I mean, it can be pretty challenging.
When are you going? I mean, will there be anything going on while you're there?
Yeah, we thought we'd go in February or March, around then. There's a big carnival in Oruro sometime then that Ava went to last time. She said she'd be happy to go to it again because it was so exciting. It, goes on for a week, and there's dancing and parades and food and everything. And they all wear costumes. It sounds fascinating.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
And then I heard that Bolivia has the world's most dangerous road. It runs from La Paz to the Amazon or something, so we could always take a bus ride along that. It's a really frightening trip, apparently. Ava said she was terrified. She said the roads were really narrow.
Gosh, that sounds like an exciting trip. I wish I was going.
Okay, so the first place they mentioned was La Paz. Number 2, Lake Titicaca. Number 3, Eduardo Avaroa National Park. Number 4 was Huayna Potosi. And finally was Oruro. Did you get them right? Great. Now, I want you to please pause the video while you read the sentences and think about what these sentences are doing. Okay, if you notice, these sentences are saying what Ava told them. Now, I want you to please find out what Ava said, the specific expression. Pause the video while you match them. Okay, let's see. Ava said she wanted to come with me. Letter C. I want to come with you. Ava said we should fly into La Paz first. A. We should fly into La Paz first. 3. She said it was an interesting city. D. It is an interesting city. 4. She said the local crafts were really impressive. B. The local crafts are really impressive. Did you get this right? Perfect. Now, I want you to please look at the sentences again. What happened to the verbs? How did they change? If you notice that the verbs shifted back, right? From want to wanted, from is to was, from are to were. Basically, we are using their past version. Now, with modal verbs, sometimes we change them, sometimes we don't. Should is a modal verb that doesn't change. So let's see. Remember that when we are talking about reported speech, we're basically saying what other people or what us have said or will say. As I mentioned, in reported speech, tenses shift back, basically use the past version. So, like in the example, I want to come with you. If you notice, it has simple present. But then, when I report it, I use simple past. Ava said she wanted to come with me. Now, what would happen if you had present continuous? You would use past continuous to report it. The same, if you had present perfect, you will use past perfect. Now, what happens if you have simple past or past continuous? Then simply use the past perfect or the past perfect continuous. Now, please notice that if you already have past perfect or past perfect continuous, they do not change. Simply because there is nothing that is like further in the past. Now, with modal verbs, you have to be careful because some of them change. For example, can becomes could, will, would, may, might, must, had to. However, others do not change, like should, could, might. They do not change. They don't have another version. Now, let's go ahead and practice. Let's go to workbook page 75. Exercise B. Here, we're going to complete the anecdote with the correct form of the verbs in parentheses. Please notice that you will need to add an indirect pronoun like me or him, or sometimes nothing, after the reporting verbs said, told, and explained. Remember that after told, you need an indirect pronoun, like he told me or I told him. However, with said and explained, there's no need to add an indirect pronoun. Let's do the first. When I decided to go to Bogota, Colombia, my friend Joaquin gave me plenty of tips about where to go, what to see, etc. Joaquin told me that I had to visit the cathedral. He said no one should, right? Remember, should doesn't change. Leave the city without seeing it. He also told me about the Iglesia de San Francisco. Pause the video while you work on the rest. Then we'll check together. Let's see. He explained that it was the city's oldest church and that I would find it amazing. Joaquin knows I love museums, so he said he could recommend a few for me to see. He said that he thought that I might like the Gold Museum and the Archaeological Museum. I told him that one place I looked forward to visiting. Joaquin explained that Botero, a well-known Colombian artist, made over 100 pieces of art to his country in the year 2000, and that they could be found. Did you get this right? Great. Now, please work on exercise A. Here, we need to rewrite these phrases. Please complete the sentences with reported speech and add him or them depending on the verb that you have. Remember, after say, you don't need an object pronoun, but after told, you do. Look at the example. We want to go hiking in the national park. Mike said they wanted to go hiking in the national park. 2. There may be a storm later today. You should be prepared. The park ranger informed them there might be a storm later that day. Or the park ranger informed them that there might be a storm later that day. He also said they should be prepared. Now pause the video and work on the rest, please. We'll check together during our class. Finally, I want you to please write 5 questions related to traveling. Whatever you want to know. Please pause the video. Okay, we'll use this during our class. I will see you then. Bye bye!